Conestoga, and welcome to another exciting episode of your Conestoga Today, the show that is designed just for you. I'm your host, Mama Zawonker, and I'm always delighted to add a little sparkle to your day with updates around our campuses, insights to help you accelerate academically and professionally with a sprinkle of some fun between. First, let me take a moment to shine a big, bright spotlight on our amazing online community. To everyone watching from your cozy corners, the bustling hallways, or maybe from your favorite coffee shops, thank you for joining us today. Your support, your likes, your shares, and your comments fuel our passion to bring you the best of Conestoga life. You are the heartbeat of ccdtv, otherwise we wouldn't be here. Well, the year is still fresh and you may have crafted some resolutions for the year and you're grinding hard to reach them. Kudos. But in the words of Aristotle, pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. So don't miss out on enjoying the process of refinement and growth. Now, to our show for today, we will begin with updates on events around the campus, then give you a sneak peek to some of the students' activities, and then sit with two experts to discuss strategies to achieve your academic and professional goals. Ready? Let's get started. First to the news segments. Grand Erie District School Board and Conestoga launch a partnership. The Grand Erie District School Board and Conestoga College are partnering to launch Ontario's first college within a school CWAS program in September 2025. This innovative initiative builds on the success of school within a college programs and the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program, offering high school students seamless access to post-secondary education. The program will be housed at the Tollgate Technical Skills Center, TTSC, in Brantford, where Conestoga will invest $5 million in renovations. The upgrades will include a dedicated wing, expanded parking, and modernized facilities with cutting-edge technology to support hands-on learning. This partnership puts students first by expanding their pathway options and easing the transition to post-secondary education, said Joanne Roberto, Director of Education, Grand Erie District School Board. With Conestoga's significant investments, Grand Erie students will experience college-level learning while still in high school. Conestoga's programming at TTSC will include electrical techniques for the first-year Ontario College certificate, multi-power fundamentals, automotive repair, and that again is a one-year Ontario College certificate, multi-power technician, automotive service, that will be a two-year Ontario College diploma. The expanded space will also allow for additional programs in trades training, personal support, worker education, and academic upgrading to meet the region's workforce needs. Conestoga has been part of the Brantford community since 2012, and this partnership reflects our commitments to supporting local students and employers, said John Tibbetts, president of Conestoga College. The TTSC facility will provide an ideal environment for students to gain skills and knowledge that will prepare them for their future. Grand Erie Board Chair Susan Gibson highlighted the alignment of this partnership with the board's mission. Grand Erie is committed to inspiring students and expanding their opportunities to learn technological skills and enter the skills trade. This collaboration with Conestoga is a prime example of that commitment. The CWAS program promises to strengthen educational pathways, enhance workforce readiness, and foster community development in Bradford and Brant County. To learn more about Conestoga's programs, visit Conestoga College. Now to our second story. Conestoga College hosted the second annual Waterland of Provincial Collegiate Esports Invitational event from January 10 to 12 in partnership with the University of Waterloo. Teams from colleges and universities across Ontario competed in League of Legends, Valendurant, and Valendurant Game Changers, highlighting the growing esports talent in the region. Conestoga's Waterloo campus served as the venue for the Valorant competitions, where the Conestoga men's team claimed first place. We are excited about our win and the performance of all our teams at this event, said Zach Dodge, supervisor of esports operations. Wonderland is not only a celebration of esports, but also an opportunity to prepare our staff and students to be best-in-class event hosts, and as we gear up to launch our esports arena later this year. The 10,000 square foot esports arena, opening in fall 2025, will feature high-performance gaming setups, advanced streaming and production capabilities, and innovation in gaming and simulation. It will further position Conestoga as a leader in the collegiate esports scene, with teams already competing in high-profile leagues and tournaments across North America. The collaboration between Conestoga and the University of Waterloo made Wonderland a standout event. Hosting this tournament together allowed us to showcase a wide range of games and welcome diverse teams while emphasizing a thriving local esports scene, Dodge added. Participants praised the event's smooth organization and sense of community. The fun part for me is playing against friends from other schools, said Ekam Lally, a third-year Bachelor of Computer Science student and member of Conestoga's Valorant team. It's a great way to connect with the broader esports community. The fun part for me is playing against friends from other schools. It's a great way to connect with the broader esports community, Ekam Lally said. Now, international attendees were equally impressed. This is one of the best lands we have been to, said Britton Sharp, a competitor from Utica University in New York. Utica's esports director, Dan Spotalo, added that the staff were responsive and proactive throughout the event. We will definitely be back next year. Wonderland also highlighted the broader impact of esports in the Waterloo region. This event showcases the incredible growth and investment in esports by post-secondary partners, said Alistair Scourgy, Director of Sport Hosting at Explore Waterloo Region. As esports continues to thrive, Conestoga remains at the forefront, providing students with competitive opportunities and the tools to build careers in this rapidly evolving industry. To learn more about Conestoga's competitive esports program, visit Condos Esports. Now, the studio burst with anticipation as Conestoga College's media students get up for another capstone project shoot. This is our story coming to you from Experience Conestoga. This wasn't just another day, it was a culmination of months of planning, creativity, and hard work. Cameras rolled, capturing every angle with precision. Bright lights illuminated the set, creating a scene ready for the spotlight. Microphones stood poised to capture the raw essence of every word spoken. Each student had a role to play, and they stepped into their positions like seasoned professionals. Directors gave cues with focused determination, while crew members adjusted tripods and cables, ensuring every detail was perfect. Is the lighting just right? One student asked, tittling a lamp slightly. Another crouched by the soundboard, headphones on, checking audio levels. The room pulsed with the energy of collaboration, where no job was too small, and every second counted toward the final masterpiece. As the day's shoot came to a close, a new kind of choreography began. Students carefully disassembled tripods, wound up endless loops of cable, and tucked cameras into their protective cases. The equipment room staff stood by, ready to inspect and store the gear. This wasn't just about packing up, it was about closing a chapter filled with shared creativity and effort. That's it. Every shot taken, every light adjusted, and every sound checked reflected the students' growth and passion for storytelling. At Conestoga College, moments like this define the experience. It's where learning becomes an exciting experience and where tomorrow's creators and innovators begin their journey. As we celebrate their accomplishments, we can't help but feel proud of the storytellers, directors, and visionaries that they are becoming. The future of media looks bright, just like the lights that lit up today's set. Kudos to the media students. With graduation around the corner, this is where organizations need to look to find fresh, seasoned talents to support their media work. Now to another story. Step into Conestoga College's equipment room and you'll find yourself at the heart of creative possibility. For media, photography, and filmmaking students, this space is beyond a storage room. It is the launchpad of their wildest ideas. The moment you walk in, you are greeted by neatly organized rows of professional gear. Cameras, tripods, microphones, and lights line the shelves, each piece waiting to play its parts in a student's visual creation. It's a treasure for anyone with a vision to bring to life. Do I need a DSLR for this shoot? Maybe a boom mic for clearer audio or a stabilizer could really take this project to the next level. One student mused while scanning the options. The possibilities seemed endless, and every decision helped the promise of unlocking something extraordinary. Around the room, students were busy signing out equipment, excited about tangible productions. And each piece they selected symbolized the start of a new creative journey. You could almost hear the beginnings of a story being told, whether it's a film, a photo series, or a project that might inspire others. The equipment room isn't just about the gear, it's about the magic that happens when students walk out with it. It's a place where creativity takes its first steps and dreams start to take shape. And of course, none of these would be possible without the dedicated staff who keeps everything running smoothly. From maintaining the equipment to guiding students toward the right tools, they are the unsung heroes of countless projects. So here's to the equipment room, a place where ideas spark, creativity soars, and storytellers of tomorrow's begin their journey. It's not only the media students that are having a swell time. In our Waterloo campus, game lovers are immersing themselves in high-energy gaming experiences. Step into the Waterloo campus at Conestoga College and you will discover a gamer's paradise, a vibrant esports hub buzzing with energy and possibilities. Designed to bring students' gaming dreams to life, this state-of-the-art facility is a place where fun meets competition and passion fuels progress. Imagine sitting at a high-performance gaming computer, the screen glowing as you dive into epic battles in League of Legends, outwit opponents in Valorant, score goals in FIFA, or strategize your next move in Call of Duty. With lightning-fast internet and cutting-edge equipment, the gaming experience is seamless, immersive, and designed to keep you in the zone. But the Waterloo campus isn't just about playing, it's also about connecting. Whether you're a casual gamer looking to unwind or an aspiring esports pro aiming for the big leagues, this is the perfect space to meet like-minded individuals who share your love for the game. And for those with an eye on content creation, the campus offers live streaming capabilities, giving students the tools to share their skills and stories with a global audience. What's more, accessing the facility is a breeze. Thanks to the one-card system, students can dive straight into gaming without the hassle of complicated sign-ins. It's all about creating an environment where you can focus on what matters most, having fun and honing your craft. Esports is more than just a pastime. It's a rapidly growing global industry, and Conestoga's Waterloo campus is the perfect training ground for the next generation of esports talents. Here, students can improve their skills, develop winning strategies, and learn to work as part of a professional team, all while building a community that shares their passion. So, playing for fun or competing for glory or streaming to inspire others, Conestoga's Esports Hub is where the journey begins. Ready to level up your game? The Waterloo campus is waiting for you. Well, we go on a break now. We do have a video for you. When we come back, the guest will be in the studio with me. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's a new year, and that means it's the perfect time to set some new goals. Today, we're going to talk about how you can plan both academically and personally to make the most out of this upcoming semester. We're going to break down some strategies, tips, and tricks to make this semester your best one yet. So grab your notebooks, your favorite highlighters, and let's get organized. All right, let's talk academics. I know sometimes just thinking about school makes us want to crawl back into bed, but trust me, setting SMART goals can make all the difference. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Instead of saying I want to do better in school, try something like I want to raise my grade in biology by 5 points by the midterm. Don't forget to break down those big goals into smaller, bite-sized tasks. Think of it like eating a whole cake. You wouldn't just shove the whole thing in your mouth at once, unless you're into that sort of thing. No judgment. Okay, so we've got our academic game plan, but what about our personal lives? College isn't just about hitting the books. It's about exploring who you are and what makes you, well, you. Whatever it is, write it down. Visualizing your goals can make them feel more real and attainable. Personal growth is just as important as academic success. It's about finding that perfect balance between work and play. Chapter 3. Time Management. Taming the Beast. Let's be real. Time management is a skill that even I struggle with sometimes. But fear not, my friends, there are ways to conquer this beast. First things first, get yourself a planner, or use that fancy calendar app on your phone. Write down all your deadlines, appointments, and even those random social events you can't miss. Next up, prioritize. Not all tasks are created equal. Figure out what absolutely needs to get done first and tackle those things like a boss. The sooner you start, the less stress you'll have later. Plus, you'll avoid those frantic all-nighters fueled by coffee and sheer panic. Chapter 4. Work-Life Balance, Finding Your Zen. Okay, so we've talked about academic goals, personal goals, and time management. Now let's talk about the holy grail of college life work-life balance. Remember, your mental and physical health are just as important as acing that exam or finishing that project. Schedule in some me time every day, even if it's just for 15 minutes. Take a walk, listen to your favorite music, meditate, do a face mask, whatever helps you unwind and recharge. Chapter 5. Motivation Station. Full steam ahead. We're almost there, guys. We've got our goals, our plan, and our self-care routine down. But what about those days when motivation decides to take a vacation and leaves you feeling like a deflated balloon animal? First, try setting small, achievable milestones. Break down those big goals into tiny steps and celebrate each victory, no matter how small. Surround yourself with positive people who lift you up and support your dreams. And don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. And there you have it, your guide to conquering this semester like the rock star you are. Remember, it's all about taking small steps and staying consistent. You are capable of amazing things, so go out there and make it happen. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips and strategies. See you next time.
Welcome back to your Conestoga Today. It's the start of a brand new year, and for many of us, that means setting goals, making plans, and dreaming big about what we hope to achieve in 2025. But turning those dreams into reality can feel like trying to solve a puzzle without all the pieces. So if your aim is to advance academically, land your dream job, or simply figure out the next step, having the right strategies in place makes all the difference. Luckily, we've got just the right experts to guide us today. Joining us today are two incredible Talent Hub members from Conestoga College who specialize in academic and career development. They've helped countless students and young professionals navigate their paths with confidence and clarity. And today, they're here to share actionable strategies and plans to help you ace 2025. So let's give a warm welcome to Melissa McNeil-Smith, whose expertise lies in creating personalized career roadmaps that align with your unique strengths and ambitions. And of course, Pam Jadiski, a master of academic success strategies, who knows exactly how to turn challenges into opportunities. Together, they will share insider tips, debunk common myths, and answer your questions on how to make this year one for the books. So you want to grab a notepad, get comfy, and let's dive into this conversation. Good to have you in the studio today.
Yeah, great to be here.
No, it's not out of place to say Happy New Year. I know it's January 20th, but it's too early for me. I keep saying Happy New Year till it's February, so if it's okay, Happy New Year to you both. How you doing?
Great, thanks. Yeah, I think we're both excited to be here. Thanks for having us.
We're glad to have you. And okay, so let's start from right where you're at, Talent Hub. Tell us a bit about Talent Hub, what it does for the Conestoga community, and how everyone can benefit from that service or the services you offer.
Yeah, definitely. So Talent Hub is a one-stop kind of career, for all things career and employment. We offer support both virtually and in person for people to access our services and our resources. And so I really like to think of it kind of two aspects that have to come together for career success. One is helping students, graduates, and those community job seekers help enhance their career skills and not only find their jobs but thrive in their careers. And the other aspect of it is helping industry, so employers, industry partners, and those individuals, and helping them find that really great talent that they're out there and that they're looking for. And so, as you know, Conestoga is really diverse. Lots of different academic programs, and so we have many different areas within Talent Hub that help students and others with that. Pam and I are both from Career Services, so we help students and graduates not only with finding a job, but with that career planning, with understanding what their career goals are, what different pathways and options are available to them, and then helping them, connect with employers, put that best foot forward so that they can attain those jobs and be successful in their careers. There's also different areas of Talent Hub. We have our co-op and our work integrated learning teams. So they're the folks that help with that experiential education. We know Conestoga, one of our strengths is that we offer lots of hands-on opportunities built right into academic programs. And so the co-op teams both help students, find those opportunities, be successful in those opportunities, and also work with employers to develop those opportunities. And then we have our Community Career Center. So the Community Career Center works with graduates and also with community job seekers. So those individuals who maybe they're looking for a new career or a new job, or they're looking to access some of the government-funded training and education that's provided. So all these different areas of Talent Hub are working together, offering a lot of different ways to connect with us, whether it's for students to connect with a career advising appointment, with different workshops and events we have. Talent Hub also hosts many job fairs throughout the year and other opportunities like we have employer panels where employers can come and share their expertise. And so we're really all about connecting the folks who are looking to thrive in their careers with those employers and industry partners coming together to create a positive outcome for everyone.
Sounds interesting and sounds like you have a full suite of tasks on a daily basis. Okay, so tell us first, because I know that our audience are itching to know. It's the start of the year, and for most people is resolution writing, goal setting, and all of their, I will not do this year, I will do this year. So where do we begin for young professionals and students? What should be the first steps towards setting a career goal?
I think really looking at being ready. So I guess if you were looking at something like a gym membership, lots of people go out and do that and they go, I'm going to get healthy, and they don't really look at the resources that are required. Are they going to keep up those payments? Are they going to be able to get up every morning at 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever that looks like? So I think career is the same. It's a matter of looking at, are you ready to do it? Are you really committed to it? And do you have the resources? And are you healthy or have health issues managed? Are you do you have the finances necessary? Do you have the people in place to help you? So it's really looking at, is this really the right time? And then probably a little bit of how big do you want to go with your goal?
I like that. Thank you for setting the tone the way you just did. So let me ask you, Melissa. So now, how can people identify their strengths and weaknesses when it comes to career goal setting? Because you want to be able to identify, like you said, besides resources now, what am I good at? What may I not? What could be a potential drawback for me in terms of how I'm going to navigate, pursuing that career path?
Yeah, there's a few different ways. I'm a bit biased, but for students, I would say connecting with a career advisor, having a career advising appointment. That's one of the services we provide, is that one-on-one personalized support. So I'd say having an appointment with a career advisor who can walk you through that, help you reflect a bit, also probably do some career assessments with you to help you identify not only strengths and weaknesses, but also what are some maybe values or key, that are important to you. And then I think as well for anyone, there's different assessments out there. And so looking at some of them, Job Bank of Canada has some good assessments, for example, about strengths and aptitudes. And then I'm actually going to turn over to Pam because that's an area that she knows a lot about as well in terms of assessing strengths and weaknesses.
I think strengths, it's being about mindful, I guess, in all the areas that you're in. So if you're in a classroom and you're always the one called on to take notes, or you're the one that's called on to do presentations, those are ways to identify some strengths, because other people are sort of automatically identifying that for you. And then the weaknesses piece, often we know, we just don't always want to admit it. So if you're always late, or if you're, or if you know you didn't put something in your calendar or something, there's things that you identify. So the question is do you develop your strengths or do you work on your weaknesses? So it's really about goal setting around some of those things that can be helpful.
Okay, so let's look at it this way, because for students especially, I'm sure they have a lot of goals, but then for some people, it's not very clear what they want to do because there are circumstances surrounding that decision. So perhaps you have your family back home and you're trying to raise a lot of money or something or whatever. So if money is the priority and they're saying, I want to get a job that pays me X, Y, X, even though it's not necessarily what I have passion for, but I can do. My question is, how do you help people who are struggling to define their career paths? How do you help them to, identify what would be a suitable or a good fit for them?
Mm-hmm. We usually look at a range of things. Okay. So the long-term people don't do well in things that they're doing because they just want the money.
Okay, good.
Right? So, and my hope is, and I've been doing this for a long time, over 20 years, I would really like to help people find things that both will help them make money and enjoy, because you have to get up every day and go to that job. So it's really important to look at those things. So we really try and look at transferable skills. We look at technical skills that they are interested in learning and how can they apply those in different ways and make the most money if that's what they're looking for in the process. So a lot of it is research. So researching what can you do with whatever. So if you want to be in healthcare, it's not always just nursing. Not that's just nursing, but I mean, there's lots of things. Like nurse isn't the only option. We have lots of programs here at Conestoga that offer a range of things, and you can go into a lot of other things depending on what those resources are that you have financially, or time is a resource too that sometimes people don't want to spend 4 years doing something, but they'd like to work in maybe, for instance, healthcare.
Okay, so I've heard you say the word, do an assessments, and I'm wondering, can you help us picturize or visualize what the plan could look like for someone trying to create a career path? So can you help us tailor a plan? What should be the first, second, third, step by step?
Yeah, well, I think as Pam was saying before, it's kind of good to look at it holistically and think about, okay, where am I thinking I want to go? What are the different components of that are informing me? So thinking about, okay, what do friends and family maybe think? What do I think? And then looking at past experiences as well. So, okay, what have I really excelled at? What have I felt strong in? What am I interested in? And identifying those pieces, I think, off the bat. And then I'd say the next step is to do research. So as Pam was saying, to really try to get an understanding of, okay, if I am setting this as a career goal, making sure you have a clear idea of kind of why that's your goal. So building off the healthcare example that Pam gave, sometimes we see individuals not only say, oh, I want to go into healthcare, but, oh, I want to go into trades. And it's like, yeah, that's great. Trades is a great, but trades itself is really big. There's a lot of different things, components that make up trades. And so I think step one is kind of having an idea. Step two is doing some research around it. So whether that is accessing the resources that Talent Hub has online, whether that's talking with a career advisor or a career work coach with our community career center. That could be finding information online, so looking at maybe Job Bank and looking at labor market information. And then from there, I think that really clarifies, okay, is that the actual goal? And you'll learn some information that can help you maybe identify what's the next step in your goal, because I think that can be a challenge too. Sometimes things can be really overwhelming. And so you want to do that research to figure out, okay, if this is actually what I want to do, might give you some idea, okay, what's like the next step that I should take, and breaking it down into those chunks so that you don't feel like you have to climb the whole mountain at one time.
For sure. Interesting conversation. Thank you for that. So I'd like to ask now, for students who have the technical skills for the particular career they want to go into, but perhaps they lack the soft skills, what could be a potential opportunity for them to explore so that they are able to thrive in their careers, or at least start to build some sort of connection towards that goal?
We've had a few different programs that have gone on at the college. I know specifically in the trades, there was a program that was looking at developing soft skills, actually. Okay. So that's kind of, so here and there are opportunities like that. Of course, there's always opportunities through volunteering and through even sometimes part-time jobs on campus, working, say, with student engagement or different things, so that if someone came to me and said, really need to develop those skills, those would be the first things I would probably look at. one thing that's often written off really quickly is like customer service jobs. So everybody says like, oh no, I don't, well, that's not where I want to be, all that sort of thing. But literally every job includes some sort of customer service.
Sure.
So those things aren't wasted. So again, we have a lot of discussions around transferable skills, which is what that is. It's you've had to deal with people, with problems, with conflict, with situations. Those kinds of things can definitely help you develop those skills that can be applied in a different, probably more technical or more advanced way, or even in a management kind of role down the road. So those kinds of experiences that could be written off actually are quite valuable.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned the need for volunteering, because sometimes students get too busy with schoolwork and maybe their jobs, they do not create room to volunteer. And that is, I always say to myself, you have to do it because it's free education for you. You're not paying fees for this learning process. You're learning something when you're networking. But let's talk about networking, because it's also a big part of whether you're volunteering or you're working somewhere. You need to network with people. I know that networking is great, but how do I go about networking effectively so that I am also making an impact? You know, some people network and they're looking for mentors and they make it worse than it, you know?
Yeah.
So let's start with, what should we start with when we aim to network?
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple different things to think about when you're looking at networking. One is the who aspect, and how do you find the individuals that you're going to be networking with? And so there's a few different ways to do that. One is the good old Google search. So if there's a specific industry or job kind of role that you're interested in, seeing are there different groups in the community, are there professional associations? A lot of the times those groups will have different networking opportunities. An example that I always think of is Communitech in the KW area, has a lot of networking opportunities for individuals who want to work in or who do work in the tech sector. You can also find opportunities if you're a student through Conestoga, sometimes career services. We actually ran a networking event in November, just a few months ago, where we brought in per industry employers in to network with students so that they could practice those networking skills and build those connections. Other events that student engagement maybe runs or that CSI runs might be good networking opportunities as well. And then finally, there's some formal networking programs. So Conestoga's Talent Hub has the Helena Webb Mentorship Program. So that just ran in the fall and is anticipated to run again in fall 2025. And that partners an individual with in professional from industry. So those are kind of formal opportunities. You also can reach out to individuals if you're doing it in a polite and professional way. It's something that we call informational interviewing or informational meetings, and just reaching out to someone to say, either maybe someone who has a job title you're interested in or is in a career you're interested in. Maybe you find them through LinkedIn or through other means, and just reaching out to say, I'm really interested in the kind of work that you do. Would you have 15 or 20 minutes? We can get together. Beauty with virtual stuff is it's pretty easy to get together virtually now too. And then you can just ask them questions. And so that's the informational interviewing part, as well as just reaching out to someone. And so that's the who. And then to make it effective, there's also the how piece.
Exactly. I'm looking to hear that.
Right? And so the how, I think one thing to remember is that networking, generally we recommend that you don't ask for a job when you're networking. It's kind of seen as unprofessional. And really what you're doing when you're networking is trying to build those connections. And so what you can do, the first thing is to know yourself really well. And so you can start off with a 30-second introduction or kind of elevator pitch, like we call it. And it sounds, maybe a little, or like a lot of work, but really thinking about, okay, how do you introduce yourself and talk about your skills, your experiences, what you're interested in and what you're looking for. I think that really helps set the tone and lets other people know, especially if you're at an event where you don't have a lot of time, doing that 30-second introduction. And so kind of like anything, networking is a skill. So I recommend, writing out that 30-second introduction, practice saying it. I practice a lot of things I'm going to say beforehand to my cat. So practice it, to your pet, to your roommate, something like that. So you're getting used to talking about yourself, because a lot of times we don't walk around saying, hi, I'm Melissa, and these are my skills, and this is my experience. So getting more comfortable with that and building that skill. And then the second part is to think about questions that you're genuinely interested in having other people answer. I think it comes across if you're really interested in connecting with someone and learning the answers to those questions, rather than you're just doing networking as like a box to check to hopefully get you somewhere.
Exactly.
So ask questions about how did they get into their career? If I was networking with you, I'd ask you, how'd you end up in this really great role? Tell me about your experience. What trends are you seeing in the industry? Different questions. What do you want to learn about that person, about the work they do? And putting, again, some thought into it beforehand and knowing those questions can help. And then finally, asking if there's anyone else that they can connect you with. Because a lot of people, everyone has their own network.
I love that.
Right? So saying, and I actually did this the other day. I was chatting with another career professional, and I said, hey, do you know anyone else who's doing neat things around AI and job search? Because that's something our team is talking about a lot. And so, asking if they have anyone they can connect you with so you can keep expanding your network and finding those next contacts.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. So now let's talk about staying on course because, sometimes we have the plans set out, but being consistent and diligent enough to move from one step to the other, we may get stuck, right? So how do we stay on course with our plans for career building or development?
Well, certainly connecting with one of us to help with that, because sometimes people get stuck and they said, I thought this was going to work and it didn't. So what are my other options? So looking at other options sometimes. Sometimes it's setting a partway goal opposed to the full goal. I've seen people who have really lofty goals and you have to take it in smaller chunks. So sometimes it means staying in that same spot for now, or maybe it means diversifying a little bit. I think one of the biggest things when I was doing my career training was really looking at, have these solid career goals. But then the reality is that by the time you get to that spot, things could have shifted.
For sure.
And so the reality is that maybe that isn't the same goal. We all grow and change. And so maybe there's something that actually is more interesting to you now, or something. They've talked about this, about how, students entering into like high school now, the jobs will be completely different by the time they exit high school. So how do you plan ahead for some of those things, or how could you have this solid goal of something when all of a sudden the sands sort of shift a little bit? So it's a reality of reassessing and maybe having someone help you reassess some of that and look at things that you'd never thought were even possibilities before.
Awesome. Let's talk about mistakes. What are those common mistakes people make when you're setting your career? She just pointed out a very profound point. You have goals. Those goals can change, right? So what are those common mistakes people make when setting career goals? And let's also add this time academic planning as well.
Well, I think kind of to build off of what Pam was saying, sometimes setting, a really big lofty goal, not necessarily that's a mistake, but maybe not giving yourself kind of the grace or the patience to know that that's going to, take time to accomplish, and that there are different chunks along the way. So I think sometimes setting just only the big goal without kind of the roadmap of what are some of the smaller steps along the way in order to achieve it. I think another mistake can be not using the professionals and the resources that you have available. So it's something that I tell students all the time is, you are paying student services fees, and so you have not only career advisors, but if we're thinking about academic goals, there's student success advisors, there's learning skills advisors, there's a lot of different professionals who have great expertise. And so tapping into those resources, whether it is a person or whether it is a service or something like that. And so, you don't have to go it alone a lot of the time. You use those professionals. What else do you think, Pam?
I think using your friends as a resource for certain things are good, but often I have students that will come and say, my friend told me that this is what I should be doing.
All references.
And I often will say, I have to challenge that a little bit, because what, is your friend a career counselor? Is your friend an expert in this field? What do they know about it? And so I challenge some of those things. So make sure you're listening to the right people that have the right resources. I mean, friends are great to support you in a lot of ways, but they may not be the expert in your field. So steer away from some of those things. Same thing can happen with parents, unfortunately. So parents may say, oh, you should be in the trades, or you should be in something, and not really looking at...
We seem to know how to plan our children's lives.
Yeah.
We're good at that.
So, and sometimes I will say, when I'm meeting with students who are thinking about changing their goal, actually, when it comes to schooling, I'll say, why did you take this program? Because it doesn't seem like a very good fit. Well, mom said, or dad said, or something that dad took, or something, someone in their life said that it was a good idea, not necessarily looking at who they are as a person, maybe, or not being in touch with that. So really circling back to making sure that you've got the right resources again. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Now, Resilience. How do we build resiliency through this journey of pursuing a career, building academic performance? What do we do? How do we ensure that we're not losing sight of the goals we have set for ourselves?
I would say there's a few different things. One is having people in your life that are supporting you, so mentors or positive work environments. Again, the supports at the college to be able to do that. So making sure you've got those. And redefining, I think it's always really important to redefine what it is that you're doing to make sure that this is the right thing. So is it the right thing? And again, you talked about giving yourself grace. So maybe it's going to take a little longer than you thought. Or so maybe you circle back and revisit some of those things. Or you sometimes might set a shorter goal and then keep working towards it. So like all resilience, it's tricky to do no matter what it is in your life. But certainly having the supports are good.
It is.
Just to add to that too, I think that it's really normal for all of us to compare ourselves to other people. And so sometimes I think that resiliency piece, we feel like, oh, we're not, keeping up with or ahead of, classmates, friends, co-workers, other people like that. And so I think some of the best advice I've ever received about resiliency was just like run your own race. Like maybe it's not going to happen for you.
Stay on your path, stay on your
exactly.
lane, be focused.
It's not going to happen the exact same way for you as it does for other people. Things might shift, things might look different. Often I think we set a goal and we think, okay, it's point A to point B, but really, it's a convoluted path, and sometimes it's, one step forward, a couple steps back, and that's okay. And I think just kind of normalizing that is good to know, and keeping that in mind that when it happens, to you and you have that setback, it's not, oh, I can't do it. It's like, okay, this is part of the process, and maybe it's time to access my supports or, readjust my goals, reevaluate things, maybe come up with new strategies, and that's okay. That's normal.
Amazing. Now, I'm not quite sure. I know we're having a career fair soon, or have we done it already?
So there's actually several career fairs that are happening coming up throughout this winter. Mm-hmm. So individuals who are invited to the fairs, because a lot of time we're doing them either by industry or by school, so that we can really target the right students with the employers who are looking for students in that field. So yeah, there's a bunch of them coming up this week actually. On Thursday, we have the Hospitality and Culinary job fair coming up at our Waterloo campus.
Great. So please, I know you've said it a couple of times during the conversation we've had so far, but please could you state again the resources students can leverage to prepare themselves for those career fairs?
Yeah, so some really great resources that we have. One, we actually have an online job fair prep module that helps walk through. It talks about networking, how to prepare for the career fair, those different pieces. We have workshops that we host before the fairs, and we also have meeting with a career advisor. So those are some of the key resources to help prepare for career fairs.
And Pam, can you tell us the link or the website to go to find those resources?
So usually our events are found on the Student Success Portal. Okay. So lots of great resources there, both printouts as well as accessing sessions and so on, and of course a meeting with a career advisor. So the Student Success Portal is the best tool to find the most amount of information.
One word from, oh, no, maybe not one word, one phrase or sentence from each of you, just to wrap up our conversation today. The year's still early. People are still hoping to build and make it the best year yet. What advice would you give in terms of academic and career development?
I would say pace yourself.
Pace.
And you can reach out to us at talenthub@conestogac.on.ca for support on those career and professional side of things.
Awesome. I take it, pace itself. Okay. What about you, Pam?
And I would say it's never too late to change your goal, to move forward in a different direction, to adapt to what's happening around you, because there's always an opportunity to be successful. It's just being able to figure out how to maneuver that. Yeah.
Awesome. It's been a great time talking with you both. And just like that, we have reached the end of another incredible episode on your Conestoga Today. We hope you've enjoyed the ride as much as we have loved bringing it to you. A big shout out to Melissa McNeil-Smith and Pam Dadeski. Oh, yeah. For sharing such valuable insights on the show today. And of course, to you, our wonderful audience. Thank you for tuning in, for engaging, and for being the reason why we do what we do here at ccdtv. Now remember, Conestoga, every day is a fresh opportunity to learn, to grow, and to shine. don't stop shining, so you have to keep learning. So whether you're perfecting your resume, gearing up for an interview, or just taking one step closer to your dreams, know that your journey matters, and we're right here cheering you on every step of the way. Now, stay connected with us on all our social media platforms at ccdtv Conestoga, because your feedback, your ideas, and your stories fill our shows. And don't forget, we will be back with more exciting content and surprises that you won't want to miss. Until then, stay curious and confident as always. Bye-bye.